Now we begin tonight at the Constitutional Court of Korea. The 9-justice court has begun hearing the oral arguments in the impeachment trial against President Park Geun-hye. The president was not in attendance, but the court proceeded as the Constitutional Court noted it could not force her to appear. Key witnesses were summoned to testify at the hearing today. Our Kim Jiyeon files this report from the Constitutional Court in downtown Seoul.
During the second hearing in President Park Geun-hye's impeachment trial at the Constitutional Court on Thursday, the National Assembly's legal team questioned Yoon Jeon-chu, an official at the presidential office of Cheong Wa Dae, in order to dig deeper into her role and tasks at the top office. Yoon testified that she was in charge of President Park's personal affairs from time to time, sometimes picking up the president's clothes from designers and cleaners. She also said that she was not fond of Choi Soon-sil and denied acting as her personal secretary. She also said that she was not fond of President Park's longtime confidant Choi Soon-sil and denied acting as her personal secretary. Yoon is considered a key witness in clarifying the president's whereabouts on the day of the Seoul ferry disaster in 2014 that killed more than 300 people, mostly high school students. When asked about her recollection on that day, Yoon said she saw former presidential secretary An Bong-geun and two of the staff in charge of the president's hair and makeup entering the president's residence. The legal team said the president had failed to fulfill her duties as head of state and violated the sovereignty of the people by giving Choi access to state documents and by colluding with Choi to pressure private businesses to make donations to two government-linked foundations. The team also said the president infringed on the freedom of the press by reprimanding local media outlets that reported on Choi and her inner circle. The team added the president neglected her duty to protect citizens' lives by failing to use the resources at her disposal to save lives during the Seoul ferry disaster. The president's lawyers refuted all the charges brought by the National Assembly team. The legal team also denied the allegation that the president pressed the National Pension Service to support a merger between Samsung C&T and Tel Industries. They said that would have been impossible because the merger took place 8 days before President Park's one-on-one meeting with Samsung Electronics Vice President Lee Jae-yong in July of 2015. The lawyers also said President Park did not know that Choi was involved with funneling money through non-profit organizations, including the Mide and K-Sports foundations. Court appearances have been rescheduled to 2 weeks from now for other witnesses, including former presidential secretaries Lee Jae-man and An Bong-geun. The hearing for Lee Young-sun, another official at the presidential office of Cheong Wa Dae, is slated for next Thursday. Kim Jiyeon, Arirang News.